Okay, I hope it records. Okay, so hey, I feel really weird doing this because so many of you, I'm saying the names. I'm like, oh, I like followed you and looked up to you for so many years. I've been doing this a really long time. My name is Robin Sullivan. I'm a diamond ambassador with Plexus, and I want to share a little bit about my journey so you understand the perspective that I'm coming from. Because honestly, I'm a little bit afraid that I'll be judged by some of you on all the things that I do in order to have success with Plexus, but it's just what has worked for my network, and it's what's worked for my particular leadership style. So just a little bit of backdrop about me, because there are some faces that I don't recognize on the call. Um, I live in a suburb of Dallas. I used to be an assistant principal in McKinney, Texas, and I started Plexus because I wanted to shed a few pounds and gain willpower over food. I learned about it from a lady that I worked with, and I started taking the products just for the discount. I had absolutely zero. I honestly didn't know Plexus was a business. I thought I was joining like Costco or Sam's. So when I started taking the products, I got added to these groups. I didn't even get added to the DDD page because I'm in Jen Hawkins downline, but Jen Hawkins outside of Celeste downline. Does that make sense? So I'm not on Celeste's team, but because I'm in Jen Hawkins downline, I was added to the DDD page like probably 9 months in. Okay. So, but I was added to a couple testimonials groups, and I in particular was just wanting to gain willpower, food, and lose weight. But when I started taking the products, I started feeling better. I immediately started posting because I was reading tons of testimonies about people who had gotten relief from a lot of different health issues. So that really excited me just from a minority's perspective, because a lot of African Americans suffer from a lot of pre-existing conditions for lots of different reasons. So for me, I really saw it as, wow, this is a way for me to help people in my community. So that's originally why I started sharing Plexus. And so when I was a gold, it took me 7 months to get to gold, because I really was never trained per se. I just kind of started doing it. And when I got to gold, I had a very large customer base. So I was making about half of what I made as an assistant principal. And so I resigned from my career in education. I walked away as a gold ambassador to do Plexus full time and to be at home with my girls. And so I didn't really know what the Lord was going to do in my business, but I just felt like this tug that he wanted me to quit then, like he wanted me to quit early on. And I know a lot of people don't do that, but that was just my story. So I walked away from my career, and it's when I really started treating Plexus like a business. So when I put my head down and really started treating Plexus like a business instead of a hobby, it took me another 13 months to get to Emerald, which in my mind, it was actually pretty fast. It happened pretty quickly in my mind, so I didn't have any complaints. But when I got to Emerald, I think when everybody gets to Emerald, they think, oh, like I'm going to go to Emerald, then I'm going to Sapphire immediately, and I'm going to go to Diamond. That's what most people think. And that did not happen for me. I stayed at Emerald for almost 4 years. And then March Madness happened last year, and that kind of catapulted my team to Sapphire. And then everybody fell asleep in June after convention and took a big long nap. And so then, my points went backwards. And so I did not hit Sapphire again until April of 2020. And then when I hit 34.99, I hit almost 3,500 points. And I can break down my points if y'all want to know, because I'm a total open book. But when I got to 34.99 at the end of April, unexpectedly, I wasn't even trying to re-rank. I was just like wanting to help my team grow. But we blew past that and went to 34.99. And then I just heard the Lord say, no, it's time for you to go Diamond the very next month. And so I woke up May 1st, and I told my team that we were going to be a Diamond team. And that was it. And we worked our fingers to the bone. And I'll share with you the things that we did. And I went Diamond on the 28th. Yeah, once the subscriptions went through on the 28th, I went Diamond, and then I hit 61.63 by May 31st. So it was all just a really big whirlwind, because I didn't think, I mean, I was just trying to get to Diamond. I wasn't trying to get to Diamond reentry. I wasn't trying to go up another 1,500 points in 3 days, but that's what happened. And so I'm going to share with you details about what I did. When I'm talking, if you have questions, just write them down, and then we'll open it up, and I want y'all to ask questions you have, because I am a total open book. So the first thing is, I really believe that one of the biggest things that helped me is when I train my team to get people on the phone to sign them up. Like, there is no, let me send you my link. My people don't even know they have a link. They just, honestly, they don't, all they know is they have an ambassador number. So they go to plexusworldwide.com and they are on the phone physically. Like, my people are physically signing people up. They're the people that they're signing up are on the phone, but they're physically doing the signups. I think we shifted that when, somebody can remind me, because y'all know so many changes have been made over the years. I think it was when they made it where it wasn't a requirement to have a subscription, and everybody kind of freaked out and was like, oh crap, like they don't have to have a subscription to get paid, you know, or to be commission qualified. And so it was then that we realized we had to pivot a little bit. And so that's when I shifted the culture on my team for everybody to physically get on the phone with people. That has literally done wonders in our business, because we have more control over our business. We have very few people that don't have subscriptions. We basically pose it like this is a 90-day program, because people understand programs. We're like, so when we're talking to people on the phone, it's also easier to get people to get off the fence when you can nail them on a time to get on the phone and you just talk to them about Plexus over the phone. So we are using a lot of third-party tools, and I'll share what those tools are, but getting people on the phone honestly has been one of the biggest game changers for us. The other thing is, we do have 3 pages that we utilize. I have a big team page that's just for wholesalers, anybody that just wants to be a happy wholesale customer. That's what we call them. Our team page is called Team Made for More. And that page, I do post about products. I post about, you know, the occasional testimony, things of that nature, but it's not heavy on the business. I separated that and did a business page probably 2 or 3 years ago. I started a business page. And that just made it where I felt more free to just say what I wanted to say on lives and stuff to my business builders. So that kind of freed me from always, you know how in your head you're always thinking like, these people join for the products and they're just bombarded with all business. You know, you put people into the right buckets. So I have 3 different pages for 3 different buckets. And we also have I guess it's a prospect page. We've had that page for several years now too. That's been super beneficial, because that's where I run all of our challenges. And it's also where we do all of our ATMing. ATMing is literally how my first Jewel got to Jewel in 10 months. All she did was add tag message, and she trained everybody how to ATM. Okay. So those are the 3 team pages that we have, and that's how we utilize them. Okay. The other thing that we do, and I really honestly have to give credit where credit's due. This pandemic, like somebody is walking behind me. This pandemic has really been the catalyst, honestly. I mean, if you think about being quarantined, having people's attention, like they're not so busy that they can't go to an event or hop on a call. We've been Zoomed like crazy. So, and now people know what Zoom is, so they're not afraid of Zoom. People are, you know, just like Charles says, when there's an economic downturn, people are really more open to opportunities like this, especially people in my demographic. They're just more open now. They're thinking about, oh, I really need a plan B. I really need supplemental income. So I think the pandemic had a lot to do with our exponential growth. But I have to say, it literally was six and a half years of me just never giving up, always believing in my people. I knew there are people that have gone Jewel after being with me for 5 years, and I just always believed that they would be Jewel. So I just continued just to breathe life into them and pour belief into them. So I do think that was a big part of it as well. But the online launch events is hands down how we got to Diamond and Diamond re-entry. So the online launch events, essentially when we're signing people up on the phone, we ask them if they're interested in earning 660, okay, or the month that before they changed the welcome pack bonuses, we were saying 760 or 700, whatever it was. And when we're signing them up, we're asking them, are they interested? And we also call it a referral program. I think another girl that just went Emerald, she calls it that. And I think that it's the wording, that the messaging that matters. And when we get them on the phone and we're signing them up and we ask them that and they say they're open, then we immediately ask them to make a list of 100 people. So I use the breadcrumb method. I have so many level ones. I think that was part of the reason why I went re-entry so fast, because I'm super wide. Like for 5-6 years, I got my first jewels when I went diamond. So I've never had a jewel. So I had to go super wide in order to have a stable business. And I really think that when all of these people realize, man, if I could just go get my people, my brand new people, to go get 3 and 6 and 10, that's what really created this exponential growth. So I had them make a list of 100 before I would even schedule a Zoom call. I know that sounds like a lot, but the way that I get people to do that, I just go straight to their Facebook profile when they tell me they don't know 100 people. Like, I don't know 100 people. And I'm like, oh, well, you have 1,000 friends on Facebook. So how do you not know 100 people? And then I'll say, how many people do you have in your contacts list in your phone? And they'll go and I literally make them look and they'll tell me the number. And so that's how I get them to make the list of 100. Until they physically send me the list, I will not even set a date to do the call. Okay. Because they have to show me that they're serious. Otherwise, it's a waste of my time. So they send me the list of 100. And then I tell them, okay, I'm going to do your graphic. I'm going to create the Zoom link. I'm going to send you the verbiage that you need to send. And I tell them, tweak the verbiage so it sounds like your voice, but I want you to send it back to me for approval, because sometimes people will change one word and it changes the whole message. Okay. So I'm very much so a stickler, because I was an educator. I'm kind of anal, and I'm sure you'll be like, this chick is flipping crazy, but it's what's worked for us. Okay. So they send it back. I tweak it. I then send them off. I make their graphic, and then they invite their 100 people. I continue to text them and ask them, hey, how many have you invited now? Like, I'm staying on top of them. So then I do the event, and breakdown of the event is simply, they welcome their people. They share their testimony. If they don't even have a testimony yet, because they're so new, they just share why they started Plexus. This is why I was interested. This is why I reached out to Robin. And then they pass it over to me. I share my testimony, and then I do break down the products. I do that because I know for my demographic, people really need to understand products are so effective, and it allows me to train my new person on why is the triplex so effective? Why is gut health, inflammation, and blood sugar? Why is that the root cause of most people's health issues in this country? So I really break the triplex down in particular, and then I kind of gloss over active and metaburn. I go really fast. It's super fast because I try to make this call no longer than 30-40 minutes max, depending on the questions that are asked afterwards. So I do that. And this is being duplicated down all throughout my team. Like, I only do this for my level ones. I did do one call where it was kind of like a mock call where all of my teammates hopped on and saw what I did, and I recorded it. And some of them literally went and maybe they took notes while they watched the playback. And then I go and then that's duplicated down all throughout my team. So the launch events, hands down, has been how we've gotten so many of these people to earn the impact incentive. And then once they get 6, they're just so excited. Now we're getting people to super silver super fast, So that's been a big, big, big part of our push. I do team calls. I've done team calls literally for 5-6 years. Whenever we started doing Zoom is when I started doing team calls, and I've maybe missed 1 or 2 Tuesdays in 4 or 5 years. I do it every single week. I became a certified John Maxwell coach because I knew I needed to raise my leadership lid to be able to keep pouring into people, because I knew that I was going to be in this for the long haul. I knew it was probably going to take me a while to produce some jewels, because there were so many mindset issues. A lot of people are dealing with toxic thoughts, and so are just not believing in themselves. So I spent a lot of time just raising my own leadership lid. And so that really gave me the ability. A lot of my team calls aren't about the products or how to work the business. They're just about believing in yourself. We do book studies every quarter. So my team reads 4 books a year. And all of them are highly attended. They're well attended. We have about 100 people on our call every week. So I feel like it's just, again, me just planting those seeds for years, and I'm just now reaping a harvest. That's a big part of that. But the Tuesday night team call, I do every single week. And then right after that, I do an accountability call. And these are people that just are showing an interest in really wanting to move the needle forward in their business faster. In order to be in the accountability call, they have to turn in, I have a whole chat group for the accountability group people, and they have to turn in a sheet with 30 names and 60 names really, 30 names of new people they reach out to and 30 follow-ups that they've done. And then they also have to show that they have a subscription set for the 15th. I've got a lot of in-between people, so I have a lot of compression that goes on. And so I'm like, if you're going to be a business builder, if you're going to be a leader on this team, your subscription needs to go through on the 15th. So I'm a stickler about that so that we don't have a ton of compression happening, because people don't know until they even get to probably Jewel that that's even a thing, you know? So I try to teach my leaders early on that that's something they want to train their business builders to do. So that's how they get into the call. If they don't turn in a sheet, then they don't get into the call. That's it. And you know how it is. I mean, people kind of want to be a part of the group, you know, so they do it because there's that accountability there, and they've got accountability partners in the group that if they didn't turn in their sheet, then someone else is saying, hey girl, why don't you turn it? Where are you? Why don't you turn in your sheet? So that's been beneficial. We've been doing a Thursday prayer call, probably for the past 2 years. It's at Thursday at 6:30 a.m. I have a pastor couple on my team. She'll probably go Jewel this month. Just really great men and women of God. Been praying over our team every single week on Thursdays for at least 2 years, just opening it up for our whole team. So we have quite a few people on that every week. The other thing that we do a lot of, I started kind of raising up leaders to do their own power hours. So we have between 3 to 5 power hours a week. I'm not on any of them. I don't do any of those. Those are just leaders that they've and they feel like leaders. You know, it's kind of me empowering them to go lead the rest of the team. And so they offer those power hours to everybody on our team, but it'll be like a leader from this leg is doing this power hour on Wednesday nights. And then another leader on Saturday, they call it Saturday Soldiers, and they wake up at 6 o'clock and they do power hour. So it just builds community, having all these power hours happening at different times, and just offering it up just for different people's schedules. The other thing that we have been doing, so because the Made for More page, the big team page, is really a lot of welcomes and congratulations and then testimonies only. We tried to do something different here the past couple months. We have a series that we do. It's called Why I Said Yes to the Biz. So it's really to cast vision to people in the Made for More page, which is just the happy wholesalers are just in there. And so what it is I have leaders that they go live, and I don't know about y'all, but was there a time frame that we couldn't do a share screen on live on Facebook? Do y'all remember that? It went away, and then now it's come back. So now you can actually get on live on Facebook and have a shared screen with somebody. So they have changed that. That's just happened here recently. So we go on our Made for More page, the big wholesale page, and I have leaders that basically interview 2 other ambassadors on our team and ask them why they said yes to the biz. So there's specific questions that they'll ask. They don't ask every person each question, but they just ask a few questions. And so the purpose of that is really to cast vision and help people to see, oh, I identify with that lady. She was a teacher, or she's a dentist, and she's doing Plexus now. It just helps them to see that other people that are normal and that we're not crazy and that we're sharing the products. So that's been really helpful. We do that once a week. We call it Freedom Friday. Okay. Let me see. I'll talk to you about, do y'all want me to share kind of how we went from diamond to diamond re-entry? Do y'all want me to share that towards the end? Okay. I'll share kind of what we did that month to really make it happen. What I also do are these, I want to say welcome / vision casting calls. Okay. So each one of my legs, let's just say one leg adds 150 people, and the other leg, I have another leg that maybe they added 75 people. They have all their brand new people, and they invite them to a welcome / vision casting call. So I'll do these throughout the week. If my leader doesn't ask for it, I don't do it. So it's not something that's really scheduled. It's just if one of my leaders says, hey, I want you to do a vision casting call, I'll find the time in my schedule to do it. And really what it is, this has really helped a ton. I've been doing this for a long time. It's when I get on a call, and it's my way of getting in front of, it's kind of tap rooting. I'm getting in front of all of these new ambassadors and seeing their faces. So let's just say my main leg, her name is Rhea. She will invite all of the new people from her team, okay? Because if we had invited everybody to our call, then we'd have 2 or 3, 4. Last month, we'd have 800 people on the call, right? Let's just say we had half of those people join to get on the call. That would be 400 people. That's too many people. You can't have a conversation with that many people. So that's why I break it up into legs. And so I do this call where I get on, they say, thank you for joining Plexus. We're so excited for you. They may give like 2 or 3 minutes of tips of how to get started with the products, how to be successful with the products. And then they say, I want you to, meet our Sapphire at the time, Sapphire upline. She's been an inspiration to us. She's a great leader, blah, blah, blah. So they kind of edify me. And then I share my story. All I'm doing is sharing my testimony. And then I'm physically going person to person. I'm like, hi, Lori. Tell me your name, let me see your face. And I'm asking her to share, what her goals are and what her vision is for incorporating Plexus into her life. And it really makes people kind of think like, what do I want to do with this? And some people will say, I just want to get healthy and I can see how this could be beneficial to others, but it's just, I'm casting vision. And I've seen so many people, they have no ambassadors on the day of that call. And then for whatever reason, it's like, we speak life over that person and then they feel like, oh, I can go do this. And then they end up the end of the month, added 10, 12, going super silver, almost gold. So that's been really, really beneficial are the vision casting calls. Once a month, I do a work from home workshop. I do it the first Thursday of every month. So really Tuesdays, Thursdays are the big nights that I'm doing calls. So Tuesday night, I do team call, accountability call. And then Thursday night, I do I'm doing calls for prospects, but I also do at the very beginning of the month, I do a work from home workshop. That is straight from, I think, Amber Miller. I think she posted this in the Jules page a while ago and I just kind of tweaked it, but it's basically me, very high level. I'm sharing with people how to share. I'm sharing with people what the pages are for. I'm sharing them about Plexus Worldwide YouTube channel. I'm sharing with them how to make their first $660. I'm sharing the stimulus or whatever it is, impact incentive. So I'm sharing all that on that workshop. Then the last 3 Thursdays of the month, I'm doing a call that's themed. So it's just what you guys do. So I'm doing a Men in Plexus call 2 Thursdays from now. Next Thursday, we're doing a call of more than what meets the eye or something like that. It's about the business, like how people join Plexus and they realize once they get in, it's more than what meets the eye. So I'm doing a call for that. So I'm giving people opportunities to invite people to those calls every Thursday. Okay. I'm so tired of talking. Are y'all sick of me talking? You want me to just shut up? I'm so over it. It's like, I don't even know what else to say. The other thing that there's a business building packet that someone posted. I don't know who posted it on the Jules page, but it has been a game changer for my team. So this has been how I coach people. So I want to try to screen share this really quick so you see what I'm talking about. Hold on. Hopefully I can pull this up. Can y'all see my screen? Tell me if y'all can see my screen. Yes. Okay, thanks. Okay, so this is the business building packet. I don't know who posted it. It's golden. All I did was change the name because that Leading with Excellence is my business builder page. But every single person that is in my accountability group and every single person that is now in my Hawaii by July group, they have to fill this out every month, okay? Now, these 2 pages right here are the only ones they have to physically turn into me. And it's basically like their goals, okay? And this is the springboard for my conversation that I have with people on my coaching calls. If they don't fill this out, I don't talk to them, period. Like they have to fill this out. So this is they don't have to fill all this in and turn it into me, but they probably are filling this in just because this helps me to help them to see this is how you learn how to rank up, right? You got to fill in the gaps. How are you going to fill in the gaps? But then this is great for your new ambassadors to organize with their people. This is a really good document, just a brain dump. This right here is the sheet that they turn in every single week for their 30 reach outs and 30 follow-ups. And they don't have to all be in that specific category. It's just the numbers, 20, 20, 20. This is a daily IPA tracker. Road to Recruiting, all of this is stuff y'all know about. But this is all in that packet. So any business builder that I have, I tell them to print this out, and they have this in the very beginning of their business. But the only 2 sheets that I physically am requiring for me to receive every month are these 2 sheets here, because this tells me that they even know how to project where they're going to end up based on the number of ambassadors they're going to add to themselves and how many their team is going to add, how much they'll make in their paycheck. So a lot of people, they don't understand how they're getting paid. So this is a training tool, because it tells me if this number doesn't coincide with this, or is not even in the ballpark, that means I need to teach them how they even get paid. And then this just, a lot of people, if what is my current personal setbacks, like this is where I really deal with a lot of this mindset stuff, okay? Because they'll answer these questions, and this is a springboard for a lot of conversation. So that is one of the biggest things that has helped me. I haven't even been using that packet for more than 6 months. Someone posted in the Jules page, and I just loved it, so I adopted it, okay? So the business building packet was huge. The other thing that I want to share, let me see, is when they first join, I tell them there's 4 things that they have to do when they start sharing. They have to learn how to ATM. They have to learn how to send, share, and invite. They have to do a launch event. And if they do consistent posting, those 4 things, they will see their funnel, it will constantly be full, okay? Their funnel will constantly be full. If they're consistently sharing, they're consistently ATMing people, adding them to our prospect page. If they're consistently send, share, and inviting, we call it SSI, ATM, launch events, and duplicating those launch events to everybody on their team, and then consistent posting on Facebook, okay? Our weakest points, y'all, honestly, are the 3-day challenges. Everybody just joins for the wholesale discount. I mean, since they've been doing this, you know, since it's been $9.95, it's hard to even get people into 3-day challenges because people are just going for the gusto. Okay, just join for the discount. You know, utilize the 6-day money back guarantee, and so no one's even putting people in the 3-day challenge. So this month we're not even doing the challenge. We're just doing a slim down challenge for 3 weeks. Let's see, y'all seeing the same thing, Sarah? Yeah. And so I'm going to break down what my points were. So y'all see, like, I want you guys to have hope, because if I could do this, literally anybody can do this. So I'm going to break down where my points were, how many he got to reentry, what I did that was helpful. So in December, this is embarrassing. We added 27 people to our team in December. I ended at 1,679 points in December. In January, we added 87 people, and my points were at 1,818. In February, we added 64 people, and we were at 1,881 points. In March, we added 109 people, and we were at 2,188 points. Okay, so we had about a 307 point increase. In April, we added 440 ambassadors, and we went up to 3,499. So we had an increase of 1,311 points. And then in May, we added 861 people, and we had an increase of 2,664 points from April to May, and we ended at 6,163. So when I realized on May 1st that I was going to tell my team that we were going to push for Diamond, it didn't even end up being a push. We just kind of slid into it. But I'm one of those type people. I'm super anal. So I'm like, we're doing all the things. We're doing all the things all the time. So we will literally leave every stone. It will never be left unturned. And so we did all of the things that I just said, but then I did one of those tiered contests. So I'm big into motivating my team. And since I didn't have to put money into discounting welcome packs and, you know, maybe doing a stacking of membership, because the membership was already so cheap, I felt like I could invest some of my income when I get to Diamond, right? Or even Sapphire, into rewarding my team for adding. Okay. So I did a tiered contest. I did give $1,000 away, but it was tiered. It was contingent upon me going Diamond. So the first 150 ambassadors, I said, if we had 150 people, I'm going to do a giveaway for $200. Okay. And the only way that they got into the contest is if they added 3 people. I was really big on y'all need to go get the incentive, like the impact incentive. So you need to go get that bonus. So I was like, if you add 3 qualified people, I'm also a very big stickler on that. If they don't have a welcome pack, or if they don't have a subscription of 100, they don't go into the drawing, period. Their people don't. They don't go into the drawing for the people they added if their people weren't signed up correctly. So it really trains everybody. I've got to sign my people up right. So I gave away $200 for every single person that added 3 people, qualified people. Okay. Then when we got to 300 joins, I gave away an additional 300. Okay. And I kept that going. I literally hired my daughter as my assistant. She's 12 years old, and she does like all the approvals for our team page, because no one goes to my team page unless they have a subscription, unless they ordered a welcome pack. So she approves everybody. So she has to go in the back office and look up everybody. It's a total pain in the rear. She hates the job, but she gets paid $80 a month to do it. So she thinks she's like rolling in the dough now. But I have her approve people. I also have her run all the contests. She approves people for all the contests, like to make sure that they're qualified, a qualified entry. And then once we got my goal, when I did the math, I realized once my subs went through, I felt like if we added 500 people, that would be a really good cushion for me to slide into Diamond pretty easily. So I was like, and since we added 440 the previous month, I was like, oh, we can add 500 if we added 440 last month. So when we got to 500, I assumed that I would be a Diamond, but I still didn't give away that last $500 until I said, the qualification is not only that we hit our BHAG of 500 joins, but we also reached Diamond. So once we reached Diamond, I gave away the additional 500. Okay. And then once I realized on the 28th that I was like at 4,800 points, I just kept raising the bar. I was just like, okay, we're at 4,800 points. Let's do Diamond reentry. I was like, let's hit 6,000 points. And so what I did is I asked my coach to send me the list, and I wish we could do this in our back office, and if we can, please tell me, because I don't know. But I wish we could have a list of how many people are added by each person. So if, for instance, if Amy adds 20 people to the team, like I wish we had a report for that, but we have to ask our coaches for that. Oh, you can? Oh, Nikki, please, let's do another Zoom after this. So I've been waiting on my coach, like, geez Louise. So that report, I had him pull at least 3 times throughout the month, because I would go live in my team page and I would like build a lot of excitement by shouting people's names out. Like, oh my goodness, this person's added 27 people, or this person's added so-and-so. The other thing I will say, wow, you don't even have to have Excel. Wow, I'm such a dud. I cannot believe I've been doing this long. Didn't know you could do that. So the other thing that I will say is that, so I kept raising the bar. But I will say this, I feel like it was me also just continuously putting stuff out there on Facebook, instead of me just focusing on like going Diamond, or once I got to Diamond, I didn't rest. I was like, okay, what else can we do? I was just like, kept pushing. So because I kept pushing, then my team kept pushing. So like on the 20th of May, I posted something about gut health. I don't know, one of y'all's posts probably, I reposted it, right? And I just took a picture, my own picture. And I posted the picture, and I had at least 2 to 3 people join me from that one post. And one of them was a very influential judge in Baton Rouge, where I went to college. I went to LSU. And I grew up with this lady. She's never liked a Plexus post. She's never talked to me about Plexus, not one time. And she just said, I'm interested. I got on the phone with her. She signed up like 10 minutes later. I asked her if she wanted to share the business, and she said, no, I'm not really interested. She said, I've never been good at sales. I was like, well, this really isn't sales. This is just simply you sharing something that you love. And she said, yeah, she's like, actually, my brother's been saying I needed to reach out to you for a long time. And it's because I'm a very curious person is the reason why I think this woman worked the business. I said, well, why did your brother tell you need to reach out to me? And she said, well, because he had been watching your post for a long time, and he saw that you've got this great life, and you bought this wonderful home, and you built this beautiful pool. And he just thinks that I could be successful at what you do. And I said, well, you could. And I said, do you want to start sharing now? She said, let me take the products, and then we'll see. So she still was a little bit skittish, but it laid on my heart, and it let me know that in the back of her mind, she really was thinking about the business, because the brother had been planting seeds in her for years. Okay. So on the 23rd, she got her products and she took a picture with her pink drink and she sent it to me via text. And I was like, hey, beautiful. I was like, you need to post that on Facebook. And she did. And she signed 38 people up in 6 days. 30, that's what got me to Diamond Reentry. That one person. I mean, my whole team did, but like, had I not pushed her to share, I would not have gone Diamond Reentry because I needed those 185 points. I needed those 185 points. So the last piece of inspiration I'm going to give to you guys is I have not had a jewel on my team until obviously 3 days ago. Do y'all hear me? Because I feel like I'm pausing or something. Can y'all still hear me? Yes? Can y'all hear me? Or am I breaking up? Okay. So one of the last pieces of inspiration I'll give to you is this. In my heart of hearts, I was always envious of a lot of you because I always felt like Jules they always signed like a big runner. They always signed someone that would run with them. They would get to Emerald and Sapphire, and shortly after they'd have a Jewel on their team. And so I always was just kind of envious, like, man, why can't I? Like, it was just, I felt like so burdened because I was always having to be my own rock star, and it was tiring. I mean, I was burnt out, you know? And I realized that, I think my computer's getting too hot, y'all. That's what I think is happening. It's so flipping hot out here. And so there was a girl that I knew she would be great at Plexus if I just kept reaching out to her. And so I did. I reached out to her for 4 years straight. She ghosted me. She would never respond. Sometimes she'd respond, then she'd go ghost for another 2 years. But I kept reaching out, and I had her in my prospect page. And one day I posted about thyroid issues in my prospect page. And she said, me. And at that point, I reached out to her in the post, and I was like, girl, you need to join Plexus. Like, I'm tired of this. Like, this is enough is enough. Like, I didn't even know you have thyroid issues. You need to join. She joined, and 10 months later, she became an Emerald. And so for those of you who have people on your team that are weary, that they think they just don't have anybody in their network that will do this with them, there are people out there, but you just have to keep being consistent and always showing up for people and meeting people where they're at. Because I definitely know that had I given up on reaching out to her, I would not be Diamond Reentry right now. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I feel like I did a ton of talking. I want to open it up for questions though, so feel free to unmute yourself. Anybody?
I have a question.
Hey, Casey.
I would love to know when you make
hold on, you're kind of breaking up.
Could you share a example of what the graphic looks like? How do they use it? Do they send it in the message with their in?
You mean for the launch event?
Correct.
Yeah, it's I can trying to figure out the best way. I'll put everything in the what's the best way for me to share all this stuff? Wow. Anybody have any ideas? It's a graphic though. It's a graphic that I can send to you in the verbiage. It's very simple. We do it in Rona Collage, and it's just an online health and happiness event. That's all it really is. And we just tell in the graphic, we do put their face on there, so it looks real professional and it looks like, hey, this is this person's launch event. But we do that, but we do all that for them. We make their graphic, we create the Zoom link, and we send them the verbiage. And all they do is write the list of 100 names, and then they invite.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. And I would also, we actually had huge success with those same kind of launch events last month. We added 93 because of them. But I would just love another example of verbiage that you give them to send as an invite.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll share that. Thank you, Casey. Write that down. Anybody else? No?
Hey, Robin. Can you hear me? It's Sally.
Hey, Robin. Can you hear me? It's Sally.
Hey, Sally.
There's an echo. I'm so sorry. I don't think that's me, but question, being this far into the business now, like almost 7 years, I'm having a harder time with personal recruiting. I'm not giving up, but I'm stuck right there. Was a lot of the ads happening? I mean, how many did you personally add last month?
Every single month I add between 8 and 10 people.
Okay.
And I've had to do that to keep my business. I've always been a real heavy recruiter. I feel like you're saying something. Are you talking right now, Sally? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I feel like this is doing some wonky stuff. You're not talking? Why do you feel like you're stuck in recruiting? Why do you feel like you're stuck in recruiting? Do you feel like you've exhausted your network or what?
No, I mean, I think I know I need to be more bold, and I think I need to be more consistent. I feel like you encouraged me with the Facebook and all that today. I think that was good for me.
Yeah.
Just the consistency.
My consistency is absolutely part of my success. Like it's like just every single day. The only reason why I haven't been posting here this last week is that I literally had my head down to go diamond, and then all the things happening in this country just really had me sad, and I didn't know what to say because me going diamond happened at the same exact time that all these other horrible things were happening. And so I just I wasn't even emotionally ready to even be on Facebook. And so I haven't posted a ton, but if you just go back and consistently look at my timeline, I know for a fact that my consistency, also stories kind of changed the game for my business, y'all. And I do not even like social media, but I got really good at just doing consistent stories, and I always kept my funnel full, personally recruiting. One girl actually got, it's funny, because I had posted something in my house and she liked my curtains. And so she reached out to me and asked me about my curtains. And she said, "You're such an inspiration. I've watched your journey with Plexus." And I was not reaching out to her about Plexus, but she was in my stories, and that's how the dialogue started. And I said, oh, have you ever tried it? Da, da, da. Bottom line, she joined the very next day, and she added 10 people. She went super silver in 6 days. She joined on the 23rd, and by the 30th of April, she went super silver, and then she went gold last month. She's a nurse practitioner on my team. And so all these brand new people, it's just all these new legs, they're just sprouting up. But a lot of it is from stories and just consistency posting on Facebook and consistent follow-up. I hope that's helpful.
Thank you. It's so helpful and very encouraging. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Sally. Hey, Paige.
Hey, when you mean Instagram stories? Sorry, I have a baby who keeps interjecting.
So Instagram stories, I post in there, and everything I do in Instagram, I do it in Facebook because I'm lazy. And I honestly don't even post in Instagram. Like if you go to my Instagram, I don't even really have posts. I just do stories, and then it goes to Facebook stories. But I do consistently post on Facebook because that's where I've always had the most traction. I know I need to get good with Instagram. I can't balance it right now. So I've just been like, I'll just do the stories and be done. So the same stuff that's in Instagram stories, it just goes straight to Facebook. Yeah. Same for you. Okay. Sarah, I can't believe Sarah Marble's asking me a question. This is weird. This is really weird.
No. So first, I want to say congratulations. And second, I just want to affirm you and what you are doing. And the prick in my heart that I just wanted to vocalize is, I've been doing this for 10 years and working it as a full-time career for 8. But when I say I'm working my business, I could almost cry, because what you just spelled out and what you just laid out is Robin Sullivan, Diamond Ambassador, who is working her business. And I'm just so proud of you, and also convicted that I'm a really comfy report processor. I love loving on people, but the way that you got people into action, and of course, I'm way too yellow to say, if you don't give me your worksheet, you don't get on my coaching call. So it was so valuable to hear This is how a leader leads. And these are the things you do. And if you do these things, I am running with you full force. If not, I'm going to love you where you are, but you get my other time. Because right now I'm in this, building this, working this, changing lives. And I'm so proud. And you did a great job laying it all out there. So Sarah Marble's going to go get to work.
Oh, that means the absolute world to me. You have no idea how long I have looked up to you and Lori. I mean, you have no idea. So I just appreciate that I have made you proud, Sarah. And if you didn't know, I'm a total red and a total 1 on the Enneagram. That is how this happens. I'm a little bit crazy. Anybody else have a question before we go?
I have a question.
Hey, Debbie.
Hey, I spoke to you when you spoke in Dallas, and I shared my testimony. But I think I'm wondering what all you say on your little launch events, because I think that's one of the things that I'm missing, and especially on the Zoom. And so when you share whatever you're going to share, will you share kind of like a template of kind of how long you do it and what you actually go into other than your testimony and the triplex? How you kind of close as well?
That is all I do. When I close, I just say how to get started, and I just share, the $9.95, the 10%, the general investment is for about $4 a day, because I want people to know it's not just $89 every month. It's a little bit more than that. So I'm very clear about that. I say it's a 90-day program. And I do have a graphic that one of my leaders created that basically says, okay, you do this in 4 minutes, you do this in 5 minutes, you do this in 10 minutes. It's like a 40-minute call. So I'll share that too.
And do you have your people get phone with them right after?
Do I have my people what?
Well, when you finish
I
the
couldn't hear
launch
you.
event,
What did you say?
when you finish the launch event, do you actually have whoever invited everyone, do they actually make phone calls right then to those people, or how does that work?
Oh, yes, absolutely. We have them begin. I say at the end of the call, I say, okay, so Susie is going to be reaching out to you right after the call. They're also going to be adding you to the Ready to Help Them page. I say that immediately after, because I'm basically training that new ambassador. This is what you do. You add them to the page, because if they don't join, at least we'll still be dripping on them. And then I'll also tell them, hey, this, Susie, whoever my new ambassador is, they're going to be reaching out to you as well. In fact, we've even gotten a little bit better at this. We've said, comment below with a 1 if you want to get started tonight, like if you're ready to get started right now. So the new person can prioritize who they should be reaching out to. Because the reason why we do a 100 reach outs is minimum, because on average, a person who has a little bit of influence can get about 10 people on, but a person has a little bit higher level of influence, they can get 20 people on. So because we know that's the ratio, that's the reason why I will not do a call unless they invite 100 people to the call. So that's a big part of the reason why at the end of the call, we'll ask them, hey, will you comment below if you're ready? Sorry, my kids are getting in the pool. We'll say, hey, can you comment below if you're ready to get started now? Another thing, my best friend who was a part of Mary Kay for 9 years, she finally decided to join me on May 28th. It was like better than going diamond, y'all. Better than going flipping diamond. And she's like, I'm ready to do this. She resigned from Mary Kay. And she was like, I want to go hard. I want to go fast. I want to go hard. She joined the 28th, the day I went diamond. And she added 8 people by the 31st. We did her launch event. So she joined Friday. By Sunday at 7, it was literally Sunday at 7:30 when I was trying to go diamond re-entry, that we did her launch call, and she added 8 people right after that call. What she did to add and create a sense of urgency is she said, if you decide to join tonight, you'll have free membership. I'll cover the $9.95, right? So she earned $60. She spent $60. She invested $60 in her people, but she earned $660 in a matter of an hour. You see? So it's those types of things that really creates a sense of urgency in people that I think has been really beneficial for my team. I hope that's helpful. One last thing, when you're adding, you know, I've never added this many people on my team before. I mean, this is great. This has never happened, adding almost 900 people. And so your thought process has to change a little bit in my mind, just about how you're doing things, your systems and your processes. So I'm trying to still tweak that, and I'm still a little bit overwhelmed. But one thing I've done here recently that's been super helpful has, in my business builder page, I've created albums. So I have these albums, and I did then do a screenshot video to show people how to locate the albums. Because when you go to your Facebook on your phone to a page, you have to kind of scroll to see that it says albums. You know, it'll say files or whatever. You have to scroll to see that it says albums. So I did a screenshot video to show them this is how you get the albums. And I did an album of all the welcome packs. I did an album of all the pretty graphics that someone made on how to get started with the products. I did a whole album on what was another one I did? A whole album on like all the rank up templates. That was another thing that I did. When I'm getting those goal setting sheets and people are telling me they want to go Ruby this month, I then take those templates that Plexus gave us for those rank up templates, and I put their picture in the circle, and I send it to them with about 10 Bible verses, and I like just speak life over them, and I say, you're doing it this month, make this your screensaver. And it's that visualization that really helped them as well. It's like they didn't want to give up because they knew like this was just this is bigger than them at this point. So that was another big thing too that I did. Anybody have any other questions? Okay. Thank y'all for listening. I hope this was helpful. Okay. I'm going to stop the recording now, and you guys have a great